We
I
love
want to
hip
say
hop.
R.I.P. to Pat Stay. Condolences to his family. There has been some new developments as far as what's going on with the case of what happened with the with him, like the person who actually took his life. Right. For the people who don't know, Pat Stay's life was taken back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I'll fact check that in a second. But a few years ago, he was leaving a wedding reception, and he got into an altercation with a gentleman on the road. He was with a few of his friends there. Everybody was just having a good time, and they bumped into somebody on the road. Some shit went down, and he ended up getting stabbed, and he lost his life from the injuries of the stabbing. Okay. Pat Stay, an amazing, amazing, amazing battle rapper. Okay, he's been pivotal in the whole KOTD, King of the Dot scene. He was a podcaster as well. He started his own podcast during right before the pandemic. He's done legendary things with battle rap, with rhymes. He had the compliment battle. For people who don't know what a compliment battle, crazy shit, like where he's just complimenting the other person with bars, but like sick, right? Like he's come out in costumes. He's done wild shit when it comes to this battle rap scene, man. And yeah, they're saying now that his killer is going to trial this week. I got some links that I'll pull up. And yeah, man, R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man. I got a chance. I'm so glad that I got a chance to interview him before his passing. It was such a sudden passing too. It wasn't like, he passed of some health conditions or something like that. It was just like went to a wedding, next day he wasn't here, and tore up the scene. Like the whole hip hop scene was crushed. So this is courtesy of Trapmatic TV. Let me get some water. So it says the murder trial for legendary Canadian and global battle rapper Pat Stay will officially start on May 12th in Nova Scotia, Canada, after several years delay in court. This is hope to bring the justice for his family, his children, his loved ones, his friends, and anyone who is a part of his life or followed his career in the hip hop and battle rap scene. Pat Stay was murdered and set up for no reason, for no good reason. I don't know about set up. I feel like that was just not an accident, but like a one-off type of incident. But we'll continue. The infamous Nova Scotia-born battle rapper cemented his name as the greatest battle rapper of all time, paving his way through the BR scene and with KOTD, or the battle rap scene, and with KOTD. Multiple artists will tell you how good and talented Pat Stay was, and he got a lot of love everywhere and around the world he went. Eminem even gave his condolences after Pat Stay passed away. R.I.P. Pat Stay, man. So yeah, they're starting the trial this week. I really wish there was more information that was that happened with that we were able to get when it came to this. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my due diligence and see if there's any stories on YouTube about this. Let's go to these YouTube streets. I might be one of the only content creators covering this over here. Pat Stay murder trial. 7 months ago, justice for Pat Stay. Please watch this. Hold on, let me see what this is. We'll watch that in a second. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody who's covered this. Pat Stay. Let me see this here first.
A funeral and a celebration of life held Sunday for Pat Stay, the Nova Scotian battle rapper stabbed at a Halifax bar just over a week ago. He was pronounced dead in hospital. Police were called to the Yacht Club Social on Lower Water Street just after midnight, September 4th. Monday, 31-year-old Adam Joseph Drake made his first formal court appearance in the case by video link. He's accused of killing Stay and has been charged with first-degree murder after his arrest Saturday in Tantallon. Global News asked Halifax Regional Police if they're looking for any other suspects.
At this point, the investigation is continuing.
I feel like this guy's face looks familiar.
Investigators are still looking into everything that happened that evening, and we would encourage anyone who has information to come forward and provide that information so we can really determine exactly what happened.
Drake is no stranger to the justice system. He was charged with murder in the 2016 death of Tyler Kaiser in Halifax, but that charge was dropped before a 2021 trial, the Crown saying it didn't have a
This guy's out here on a spree.
reasonable prospect for conviction. Kaiser's sister and stepmother sat in court for Drake's video appearance Monday afternoon.
We want to show support to the family. We also want answers in our own case for Tyler Kaiser. As far as we're concerned, we shouldn't be here today. Pat Stay should still be here, and Adam Drake should have been.
Whoa. And salute to What's the Dirt. He said that dude has multiple bodies. He's basically a serial killer. For real, eh? What's this?
Charged, serving a life sentence already in the murder of our son.
Meantime, the Crown prosecutor on the file had this to say.
Mr. Drake's background in these particular charges have nothing to do with, one has nothing to do with the other. These are new charges. This is a new homicide. We're going to focus on this, the investigation and the eventual prosecution of Mr. Drake in this matter.
Bro, I turn the game to a scrimmage. Just give them a show. I even let you pick the judges. I let the fans on the internet vote.
Stay released this diss track against The Game on September 2nd. High-profile rappers, including Eminem, have shared their condolences, and a GoFundMe page set up for Stay's family has surpassed 200.
That is crazy. So this guy has a few bodies under his belt. Heinous murder of Pat Stay. I feel like not a lot.
My friend had his life taken away 2 years ago, and the person that allegedly did it has a chance of getting away with this for the 5th time. Please stick with this. 2 years ago, one of the best entertainers in the world, one of the best.
The 5th time? What the hell, bro?
Battle rappers in the world, Pat Stay, was killed. And people sometimes get a violent idea when they hear battle rapper, but Pat was really anything but that. He was more of a family guy. He was raising 2 kids. He was interested in making comedy, funny skits. He and I even did a compliment rap battle. Here's a picture of him and I riding a carousel together just to kind of illustrate his character. Just a ridiculous, hilarious human being. The night that Pat had his life taken, he was at the wedding of one of his closest friends. He was lured from there to a nightclub by someone he thought he could trust to meet a man named Adam Drake. At the nightclub,
Thank you. Okay, let's continue.
Which Adam Drake invests in.
This is the info
Pat
I
was
needed.
Jumped, stabbed in the heart, continuously beaten after he was stabbed, and eventually died on the streets of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Soon,
Definitely a setup.
the trial starts with a charge of second-degree murder, and it's looking like there's a better chance that Adam Drake walks again. And why do I say again? Because allegedly, this could be the 5th time that Adam Drake gets away with this. First, the alleged murder of Tyler Kaiser in 2016, where the Crown said that there was no longer a reasonable prospect of conviction. Second, the alleged murder of John Newcomb in 2012, where there were witnesses, but no one will come forward. Third, the alleged attempted murder of Brandon Anderson in 2013. Brandon Anderson later died because of complications from this case. And once again, the prosecutor said that there was no realistic prospect of conviction. Fourth, the alleged rumored murder of Ryan Neely in 2018. Ryan Neely was in the medical marijuana business. One of his stores had been firebombed earlier that year. Coincidentally, Adam Drake is also in the medical marijuana business. And now,
hold on. Hold the freaking phone, man. Yes, I understand serial killer, but this guy sounds more like a hired hitman. And, you know, I guess hitmen can be borderline serial killers because if you're out there doing multiple hits and you space them into a certain amount of time, once you pass 2, you get into serial killer territory. But I feel it's not like on some serial killer shit where he's just a sick individual that's running around there just taking random bodies. Like, I think this guy has intention, is what I'm trying to say. All right. I don't know why they try to set up Pat Stay in that way, like luring him to a club is crazy. But I don't feel like he's just some random, like he's not some Jeffrey Dahmer looking for his victims type shit. Like, no, he's probably being paid per victim. Rob Base 420 says if you have more than one body, you're a serial killer. Yes and no. It's also, I think it's a matter of timing. All right. It's something I've seen. It's a statistic when it comes to this. It's a timing thing. Like if you have to kill within a space of months for it to be considered serial, I guess. Serial killer meaning. Okay, so what do we have here? A person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive, and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. I feel there's something that let's do this. This is a weird thing to look up. How many? Yo, please, FBI, don't come looking for me for this search here. How many murders to be a serial killer? So a person generally considers a serial killer if they have murdered 3 or more people in separate events. Okay, so I can't be like in one sitting where like they just went to one place and just plugged like 3 people. They wouldn't be considered a serial killer in that case, like the school shooters and stuff like that. All right. What's there to stay away from covering that guy? Yo, Omni. I'm already in the weeds over here, bro. Yeah, I wish you had told me this before I started the story. I was going to do a video, but was literally told by multiple people to stay away from covering him. So what are you trying to say? Like, you know what I need to do? 1 second. Okay. Yo, fuck. Join the convo. I'm putting a link in the chat. Matt, if you do have time, pop out. We don't have to talk about it, but you seem to be a little bit more in the know than me on this, bro. Holy shit. YK TFV says, shut it down, Fry. We already here, my guy. All right, man. We're gonna sacrifice our shit for the content, man. I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the content. If this guy if he's gonna come to Toronto, oh, he's not a serial killer. We established that already. He's not a serial killer. He's probably part of an organization. Jesus Christ. Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. Let's go back to this thing here, man. He's giving me all the reasons of why not to continue to look through this video. Oh, man. But here we are. Let's continue.
The murder of Pat Stay, and that doesn't even include the 2007 case where he stabbed 4 security guards, neither here nor there. And this is just the stuff that I know about. I'm just a random guy from the States. And now it seems like he's going to get away with this again, from the words of the mother of Pat Stay's children.
This isn't looking great. This isn't looking great because of lack of evidence. Lack of evidence for a murder that happened in a crowded nightclub with video footage. And we're lacking evidence.
Inexplicably, the charge seems to be second-degree murder, when Pat was clearly lured to the nightclub and premeditatedly murdered. When Adam Drake made menacing comments on Pat's social media leading up to the event, and privately sent him even more intimidating messages. And that's not to mention the reports that he's been acting arrogantly in the courtroom, or the fact that the day after Pat Stay was murdered, Adam Drake followed the mother of Pat Stay's children on Instagram and on Facebook. Because honestly,
We gotta let that breathe for a second. This nigga is a menace. He's following the man's moms and shit. Holy shit, man. He's gonna walk, bro. He's gonna walk right out that courtroom, George Jefferson style. This is crazy.
the story gets even deeper than that. On the night that Pat was murdered, there were 2 plainclothes police officers at the bar where it happened, but there was no arrest made, and Pat somehow died alone on the streets of Nova Scotia with no one there to help him, no one there to.
Yo, what the fuck am I hearing right now, man? Yeah, I might need to back out of this story. Holy shit, man. You got officers right there. This nigga's got stupid power in that neighborhood. God is the greatest says it can't be over a girl. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to believe when people are willing to take somebody's life that it's over, relationships or lack of or stuff like that. But yeah, you might be right still, broski. I know Pat Stay, he wasn't really into the street shit. Like his image never even portrayed that type shit. Like I had a great interview with him and we spoke about his life and his anger issues and different things like that. And it's never been, him being a street guy and this is what the type of issues he's gotten into. It's just always been like bar fights type of shit. All right. I'll play that in a second, but like, this is spooky.
To defend him. Even with this amount of evidence, still seems that this man is likely to go free.
Mainly it's because people are so scared of this man. People are not showing up to court because they're scared of this man. And it's just so ironic because if we're lacking evidence, then he might get out of jail earlier than he deserves to be.
The people are not going to court because they're scared of this man. People are telling me not to. People are telling Matt not to do the story. I guess I've been advised, and I'm going to clip it. I clip everything. DJ Ricky Vlad. But Jesus.
So you can't be that scared of him if you're okay with him hitting the streets sooner than he deserves.
This is clearly a pattern of behavior, intimidation, and corruption. There are never successful prosecutions, partially because witnesses are scared. And I get why they're scared, because people keep on getting killed. This is a post from Pat Stay's brother, basically begging anyone to come forward who has any information on this case, basically saying that you'll never be able to forgive yourself, and Pat would never forgive you if you didn't come forward and rectify this injustice. The fact that this could happen on video in a crowded nightclub with witnesses while there were plainclothes police officers there and still nothing is happening, and that there's even the potential that the person that did this can walk away is.
And if they put it down to second degree,
a severe miscarriage of justice. But this video is an appeal to justice, an appeal to the memory of Pat Stay, that the positivity that he put out into the world can trump whatever evil is going on here. Please share this. Please spread awareness. And if you're involved, please do what you can to honor Pat's legacy. There's video from that night, and I'll never watch it in my life, but I'm told that Pat's final words were not like this. Not like this. Please don't let it end like this.
I just put a chill up my spine. R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man. I didn't expect to get this deep into the weeds for this story, to be honest. I was just trying to make the announcement that they're gonna do they're gonna start the trial this week, but here we are. This is from 2 years ago. And I interviewed him a year before that. All right. I got to start going back and putting timestamps in these old interviews.
And I would type for hours on a keyboard that was completely unplugged, no computer. To why am I angry? There's all kinds of women.
Okay, right here. This is the only time, like I was telling y'all before, like he wasn't on some gangster shit. Like the only time he would get into conflicts is like he said through his anger and stuff, right?
You know, and now that I'm content and I'm surrounded with, you know, positivity and love and my kids and stuff all the time.
Right
I'm about to like get bad or some of that. And to this day, I don't truly know the fucking reason. And
my bad.
Music and the way you attack each.
Sure, yeah, no, that's cool. In a rap battle.
Different part of the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It attacks different. Yeah.
And you've talked about like having drunken nights, putting fans into garbage cans and shit like that, bro. Talk to me about your relationship with alcohol. I'm gonna get into my Dr. Phil bag for a quick second, man.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's cool. You know, I think that was a part of my finding myself growing. I don't know. I really don't know why to this day that I drank so much and why I would become this angry person, because I'm not an angry person. And what would happen was, I just think it must have been like an insecurity or something, but I would get so drunk and I would just turn, and you could just see it in my eyes. Anyone that know me, anyone that's even seen me in the bar, they're like, oh shit, like, fuck
shit's about
this.
to pop.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound tough. Like I don't want to sound like I was crazy or something like that. But even my own friends would be like, I know when to leave you, bro. You got that look in your eyes, and you're just not happy. You're not having fun. You're not enjoying anyone around. I'm about to like get bad or some of that. And to this day, I don't truly know the fucking reason. And
it might be that you're just keeping your guard up, like you were saying earlier. And then now that you eased it down, it might, you know what I'm saying? Like that's probably what it was. That's just you keeping up that guard, right? With the alcohol. I'm not, you know?
Yeah, but even like some of my friends who were really, you know, really out there, they would be happy when they're drunk, you know, where I really didn't have that much to be on guard about, because I wasn't like deep in the streets and nothing like that. So I didn't have that much of a reason. So it must have just been something in my like self-confidence, like I don't know. I really don't know. But and even with that being said, why would I keep drinking? And I would drink every single day, daily, and I would become this person. It was very, very rare to see me drunk and be like, yo, Pat seems so happy tonight. To be like, oh shit, I see that angry Pat and I just don't even want to be around. You know what I mean?
So that, like I said, like this is the only time that he said that he would get into any type of altercations is when he get on some drunk shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like reasons for people to have a vendetta against him, and listen, this is from me speaking from the outside. I'm not out there. I'm not from the East Coast. So I don't know the intricacies of what's going on over there with his world. But from what I can see and from the conversations that I've had and just from people who I've spoken to also, he's never been on some shit where like somebody would want to like take his life. All right. So I don't know, man. I feel that this is going to be something that we need to look into a little bit more. I might get some DMs or some text messages about this shit. You never know. It's not something that's out of the wheelhouse. Not something that's never happened before. So I want to say RIP to Pat Stay. I feel that this gentleman, like the justice system, should be able to do what they need to do to the full degree, right? I'm not here trying to say, like, I'm not trying to wish jails on man, but at the same time, I'm not trying to see people out here murdering people, bro. It's not that type of party, man, where it's like, yo, free everybody. Nah, not if you're out here taking people's lives. Not only like the lives of people who I know, just anybody's life. It's not on a free them type of thing, bro. So for it to even be a second degree, there's some serious foul play going on in that side of the country, bro. Yeah, man. R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man, and condolences to his family. Hold your head, yo. I know y'all are going through it right now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.